You really should consider a home, Dad. Emily and I have been talking. Brad set down his coffee on my kitchen table like he owned the place. Third time this month he'd brought it up. I watched him. Didn't answer right away. That's something you learn at 72. Silence makes people uncomfortable, makes them say more than they planned. It's just, you're getting older, living alone. What if something happens? What if something happens? He said it like he cared. Before I continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. The thing was, something had been happening. For 6 months now. Small things at first. $20 missing from my wallet. Blamed myself. Maybe I'd spent it and forgotten. Emily said I was getting forgetful. Brad nodded along. Concerned face, perfectly arranged. Then my blood pressure medication went missing. Full bottle. I just picked it up from the pharmacy 3 days before. Looked everywhere. Emily found the empty bottle in my trash 2 weeks later. See, Dad? You already took them. You just don't remember. I'd stared at that empty bottle. 60 pills. I'd taken maybe 6. The forgetful old man routine. That's what they were building. My bank called about unusual ATM withdrawals. $400 over 2 weeks. I don't use ATMs. Haven't in years. I go inside, talk to the teller. But someone was using my card. You probably just forgot, Emily said when I told her. She was doing dishes in my kitchen. Didn't even turn around. You withdraw cash all the time. I don't, though. That's the thing. I sat at my kitchen table after they left that night. Same table where Martha and I had our coffee every morning for 43 years. Oak. Built it myself in 1981. The safe was in my bedroom closet. Small fireproof box, bolted to the floor. Had my important documents. Martha's jewelry. Cash I kept on hand. Emergency fund. I checked it that night. The combination lock showed scratches around the dial. Fresh ones. Inside, the emergency cash was light. I counted it. $2,300. Should have been $4,000. My heart rate monitor that I wore to bed. The one that synced to my phone. It showed my blood pressure spiking. 168 over 95, higher than it had been in months. I sat on the edge of my bed, the same bed where Martha died holding my hand 18 months ago. The headboard I'd carved with both our initials when we were newlyweds. Someone was stealing from me. Someone who had access to my house. Someone who had my PIN, my safe combination, my trust. There were only 2 people with keys to my house, Emily and Brad. I wanted it to be a stranger, some random break-in, but nothing else was missing. Not the TV, not Martha's good silver in the dining room hutch, not the tools in my garage. Just money, just medication, just things that could be explained away as me being forgetful. The pattern was too clean. I opened my banking app. The blue light lit up my face, in the dark bedroom. I scrolled back through 6 months of statements. ATM withdrawals I didn't make. $1,240. Grocery store charges on my debit card for amounts I never spent. $890. My Amazon account showed orders I never placed. Expensive electronics, gaming system, laptop, all shipped to an address I didn't recognize. Total, $2,100. I'd called Amazon about it 2 months ago. They said the orders were placed from my account, from my home IP address. Someone had been in my house, on my computer, ordering things while I was asleep or out. The address was in the next county. I Google mapped it. Apartment complex. I sat there doing math in my head. The way you do when you don't want the numbers to be real, but you need to know. $1,240 in ATM theft. $890 in fake grocery charges. $2,000 in Amazon orders. $1,700 from my safe. Plus 3 bottles of blood pressure medication at $85 each with insurance. $255. $6,085 in 6 months. That didn't count the small stuff. The cash from my wallet. The occasional 20 that went missing. The bottle of whiskey I kept for when my old army buddy Frank visited, replaced with cheap stuff in the same bottle. Someone thought I wouldn't notice. Thought I was too old, too trusting, too grief-dumb from losing Martha. My hands weren't shaking. That surprised me. They were steady when I picked up my phone and opened the camera app. I took pictures of the safe, the scratches on the combination lock, the remaining cash laid out with today's newspaper showing the date. Then I went to my computer, checked the browser history. Someone had been on it yesterday afternoon while I was at my cardiologist appointment. Logged into my Amazon account at 2:47 p.m. I'd been in the waiting room filling out forms. Emily had a key. She'd had one since I gave it to her when she turned 16, 26 years ago. But Emily worked Tuesday afternoons. She was a dental hygienist. I knew her schedule. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Brad didn't work Tuesdays, or Wednesdays, or most days, really. He did contract consulting work. That's what he called it. What it meant was he sat home playing video games while Emily paid the mortgage. I'd helped with that mortgage, $35,000 for their down payment 4 years ago. They'd said it was a loan, never paid back a cent. I pulled up my bank records again, went back further. The down payment, $35,000 in March 2020. Their wedding in 2018, $18,000. I'd paid for the whole thing. Emily wanted it at the Riverside Inn. Martha cried when we wrote the check. Happy tears. Our only daughter. Brad's business startup in 2019. $12,000, some consultant thing. Folded after 5 months. He'd said the market wasn't ready. Never mentioned paying me back. Car repair emergency last year, $300-400. Brad had called me, voice tight with panic. Their transmission was shot. They couldn't afford it. Could I help just this once? Just this once had happened 11 times in the past year. I had a folder on my computer where I tracked it. Not because I wanted them to pay me back, because Martha had taught me to keep records. Always know where your money goes, she'd said. Emergency vet bill, $890. New tires, $640. Unexpected tax bill, $1,200. Water heater replacement, $1,100. Emily's root canal, $820. Kids' school supplies, $340. Furnace repair, $680. Brad's truck insurance, $940. Christmas gifts, loan, $2,500. Kids' summer camp, $2,800. Brad's minor fender bender, $1,240. I added it up, then added it again because the number seemed too high. $68 through $50 in 5 years, not counting the mortgage down payment, not counting the wedding, not counting the business loan that wasn't a loan anymore because they'd stopped pretending they'd pay it back. $113,050 total. I sat back in my desk chair. The leather was cracked on the armrests. Same chair I'd had since 2003. Martha had given it to me for my birthday. The thing that got me wasn't the money. I'd given it willingly. Every time they asked, I'd said yes, because that's what fathers do. That's what Martha would have wanted. What got me was that it wasn't enough. They were stealing now, while I slept, while I was at doctor appointments, while I was grieving Martha and trying to figure out how to live alone after 43 years of marriage. They thought I wouldn't notice, thought I was too old, too sad, too trusting to see the pattern. My phone showed 11:47 p.m. I'd been sitting there almost 3 hours. I opened my email, sent a message to Frank Kowalski. We'd served together in Germany back in '73. He'd become a cop after the army. Retired now, but he still knew people. Frank, need a favor. Can you recommend someone who installs security cameras? Small system, nothing fancy. Just need to know who's coming into my house when I'm not here. His response came back in 4 minutes. Walter's Security on 5th Street. Tell them I sent you. They're good people. Everything okay? I typed back, we'll know soon. Then I went to bed. Didn't sleep much. Kept thinking about that empty medication bottle. How Emily had found it in my trash and looked at me with pity. You're getting forgetful, Dad. I wasn't, though. That was the thing. The cameras went in on Thursday. 3 of them. One covering the front door from inside, one in the living room with a view of the hallway to the bedrooms. One in my bedroom, angled at the closet where the safe was. The installer, a guy named Marcus, who looked about 40, Asked if I wanted the obvious kind or the hidden kind. Hidden, I said. He nodded like he understood. Smoke detector cam for the living room. Alarm clock cam for the bedroom. The front door one's trickier, but I can put it in that shelf thing you got there, behind the picture frame. The camera's fed to an app on my phone. Motion activated. Cloud storage. I could watch from anywhere. I didn't tell Emily they were there. She came by Friday with groceries I hadn't asked for. Just wanted to check on you, Dad. Make sure you're eating. She put away milk, bread, eggs, things I already had. I watched her move around my kitchen. My daughter, the girl I'd taught to ride a bike, the girl who'd cried on my shoulder when her first boyfriend broke her heart. She looked tired, dark circles under her eyes. She'd lost weight. You okay, honey? Fine, Dad. Just work stuff. Busy week. Brad was in the car. I could see him through the front window. On his phone. Didn't come in. Emily left after 20 minutes. Kissed my cheek. Said she'd see me Sunday for dinner at their place. I watched her walk to the car. Watched Brad barely look up from his phone when she got in. Watched them drive away. Then I opened the camera app. Watched the recording of Emily in my kitchen. She'd been here 22 minutes. Put away groceries. Checked the mail on my counter. Looked in the refrigerator. She hadn't gone near my bedroom. Hadn't touched anything unusual. Tuesday came. My cardiologist appointment was at 2 p.m. I'd had it scheduled for 3 weeks. I left at 1:30. Drove my truck to Dr. Morrison's office across town. Waited in the lobby with my phone in my hand, camera app open. At 2:51 p.m., my front door opened. Brad came in. Alone. He looked around. Called out, "Walter!" like he thought I might be home. He moved quick, straight to my bedroom. The camera caught him kneeling in front of my closet. He spun the safe combination. Got it wrong. Tried again. Third time it opened. He counted the cash inside. Took $300. Put the rest back. Closed the safe. Spun the combination. Then he went to my dresser. Opened the top drawer where I kept my wallet. Took 2 20s. He was in and out in 6 minutes. I sat in Dr. Morrison's waiting room watching the footage. My blood pressure cuff was already on my arm from the nurse's preliminary check. The automatic reader started up. The nurse came back, looked at the reading. 178/98, Walter. That's high for you. You feeling okay? I'm fine, I said. My voice came out level, calm. But I wasn't fine. I was watching my son-in-law steal from me in real time, and my daughter's husband had just proven what I'd known but didn't want to believe. Dr. Morrison kept me an extra 20 minutes. Wanted to discuss my blood pressure spike. Asked about stress. Some, I said. He adjusted my medication. Told me to come back in 2 weeks. I drove home. Brad's car was long gone. I checked the cameras. He'd left at 2:57 p.m. The whole thing took 6 minutes. I opened my safe. Counted the money. $2,100 left. Down from $2,400 this morning. My wallet had $43. I'd had $83 this morning. I saved the camera footage. Backed it up to 3 different places. My computer, a thumb drive, the cloud. Then I called Emily. Hey, Dad, how was the doctor? Fine. He adjusted my medication. Hey, was Brad at the house today? Silence. Just for a second. No, why? Thought I saw his truck in the driveway when I got home. Must have been mistaken. Yeah, he's been home all day. Working on a project. Must have been someone else's truck. Looked similar. We talked for another minute. She asked about my blood pressure. I said it was fine. She said she'd see me Sunday. She'd lied to me. Straight to my face. Well, my ear. But she knew Brad had been here. Or she didn't know, and Brad was lying to her too. I needed to know which. Sunday dinner. Emily had texted me the address. Same house I'd helped them buy 4 years ago. $35,000 down payment. 3-bedroom ranch. Nice neighborhood. I pulled up at 5:00 p.m. exactly. Brad's truck in the driveway. Emily's sedan next to it. I parked on the street. Brought a bottle of wine. Martha had taught me you never show up empty-handed. Emily answered the door, smiled, looked genuine. "Hey, Dad, come in." The house smelled like pot roast. Same recipe Martha used to make. Emily had asked for it after the funeral. I'd given her Martha's handwritten recipe cards. Brad was in the living room. Big sectional couch, 65-inch TV on the wall. Gaming console hooked up. He glanced up when I came in. "Hey, Walter, how's it going?" "Good, Brad. You?" "Can't complain." The kids ran up. Jake was 8. Mia was 6. They hugged me. I'd given them $20 each last time I'd seen them. They'd been excited. Genuine kid excitement. I loved these kids. That was the thing. I loved Emily. I loved the family. But someone was stealing from me, and the evidence was clear. We sat down to dinner. Pot roast, mashed potatoes, green beans, rolls from the grocery store bakery. Emily asked about my week. I told her about my appointment, mentioned my blood pressure was acting up. Stress, the doctor thought. "What are you stressed about, Dad?" Emily passed the potatoes. "Oh, you know, getting older, living alone, missing your mom." Brad cut his meat. Didn't look at me. "Still think you should consider a care facility. Take the pressure off." "My house is paid off," I said. "Been there 38 years. Don't see much point in moving now." "It's a lot of house for one person," Brad said. "Expensive to maintain. Property taxes, utilities. You're on a fixed income." There it was. The concerned voice. The practical voice. The voice that sounded reasonable but had an agenda underneath. "I manage fine. For now," Brad said. "But what about 5 years from now? 10 years? Better to plan ahead." Emily touched Brad's arm. "Let's not do this tonight." But Brad was on a roll. "I'm just saying, that house is worth what? 300,000? 320? That's a lot of equity just sitting there. You could sell it, move somewhere smaller, have that money for your care down the line." I set down my fork, looked at Brad, really looked at him. He was 34, 6 years younger than Emily. They'd met at a bar. She'd been coming off a bad breakup. He'd been charming, attentive, said all the right things. Martha hadn't liked him. She'd never said it directly, but I knew. The way she got quiet when Emily brought him around, the way she'd watch him when he talked. "Something about him," she'd said once. Just that. Something about him. "The house isn't for sale," I said. "I'm not saying now, just eventually. You should think about it." "I have thought about it. Answer's no." The rest of dinner was quiet. Emily tried to fill the silence. Asked the kids about school. They chattered about their classes. Mia had a new friend. Jake was learning multiplication. Brad was on his phone, texting someone. I watched his thumbs move over the screen. Fast, practiced. He'd glance up occasionally, make a comment, go back to his phone. After dinner, Brad went outside. "Taking a call," he said. Emily and I did dishes. The kids were in the living room watching TV. "Dad, about what Brad said." "It's fine, honey. He's just worried. We both are. You're alone in that big house. What if you fall? What if something happens?" I rinsed a plate, handed it to her to dry. "I'm 72, not 92. I'm healthy. I get around fine." "I know, but we worry. We." She kept saying we, like her worries and Brad's worries were the same thing. "Em, how are you doing?" "Really?" She dried the plate, set it in the cabinet. "I'm okay." "Work good?" "Yeah, busy. Dr. Patterson hired a new dentist, so we're seeing more patients." "And Brad? His consulting work going well?" She paused, just for a second. It's fine. He's got some projects." "He working much?" "When the contracts come in." I nodded. Didn't push, but I could hear it. The slight edge in her voice. The defensiveness. I'd given them $113,050 over 5 years. Brad still wasn't working steady. Emily was supporting them. And now Brad was stealing from me to supplement whatever gap existed between Emily's salary and their lifestyle. Brad came back inside. "Ready to head out?" he said to Emily. It was 7:30, early. "Already?" Emily looked surprised. Got that thing in the morning. Need to prep tonight. What thing? Sunday night prep for Monday consulting that didn't exist? I said goodbye to the kids, hugged Emily, shook Brad's hand. His grip was firm. Performance grip. The kind you use to prove something. I drove home, pulled into my driveway, sat in my truck for a minute. The kitchen light was on inside my house. I always turned off the lights when I left. Always. Habit from 40 years of factory work and watching budgets. I opened the camera app on my phone. Rewound to 5:00 p.m. when I'd left. At 6:15 p.m., Brad's truck had pulled into my driveway. Brad had gotten out, let himself in with a key. He'd gone straight to my bedroom, opened the safe. This time he took $500. Then he'd gone to my bathroom, taken my new bottle of blood pressure medication, the one I'd just picked up Friday. 60 pills. Hadn't even opened it yet. He'd left at 6:23, 8 minutes, while I was at his house eating pot roast and listening to him tell me I should sell my home. I sat in my truck watching the footage, the medication bottle clearly visible in his hand as he walked out my front door. Into his truck. Gone. I'd attended dinner with my family while my son-in-law robbed me. The thing that broke me wasn't the money, wasn't even the medication, though I needed that to live. It was the premeditation, the planning. He'd sent Emily that dinner invitation knowing I'd come, knowing I'd be away from my house for hours, knowing he could slip away, make an excuse, take what he wanted. And Emily had either known or hadn't cared to ask where he'd gone during that call. My hands were shaking now. I gripped the steering wheel, breathed, counted to 10 like Dr. Morrison had taught me for stress management. At 72, you're supposed to be settling into your golden years, watching grandkids grow up, tending your garden, playing cards with your buddies from the old days. You're not supposed to be installing security cameras to catch your son-in-law robbing you. I went inside. The kitchen light was still on, just like he'd left it, careless. Or maybe he didn't care if I knew. Maybe he thought I wouldn't do anything about it. I opened my safe, $600 left. Down from $2,000 this morning. I checked my bathroom medicine cabinet. The blood pressure medication was gone, the bottle I'd just picked up, the bottle with my name on it, filled Friday afternoon. I'd need to call Dr. Morrison in the morning, explain I'd lost my medication. He'd think I was getting senile, careless, old. That's what Brad was counting on. That everyone would think I was losing it, forgetful, confused. I called Frank Kowalski. Walt, late for you. Need another favor. Name it. Know any lawyers? The kind who handle family stuff? Elder law? Silence on Frank's end, then, yeah, I know someone. Rebecca Torres. She's good, tough. Saw her take on a case last year where a guy's kids were trying to declare him incompetent so they could get power of attorney. She tore them apart in court. Can you send me her number? Sending it now. Walt, you okay? Getting there. I called Rebecca Torres on Monday morning. Her secretary put me through after I said Frank had referred me. Mr. Sullivan, Frank speaks highly of you. What can I do for you? I told her everything. The missing money, the medication, the cameras, the footage, the pattern of financial help that had become expectation. She listened, didn't interrupt. When I finished, she was quiet for a moment. Mr. Sullivan, what do you want the outcome to be here? I want it to stop. Do you want to press charges? Did I? That was my daughter's husband, the father of my grandchildren. Pressing charges meant police, meant court, meant Jake and Mia would know their dad was arrested by their grandpa. I want options, I said. Okay, here's what we're going to do. First, I want you to change your locks. Today. Don't tell Emily. Don't tell Brad. Just do it. Okay? Second, change your PIN, your passwords, your safe combination. Every access point to your money gets new credentials. I can do that. Third, I want copies of all your camera footage. Every instance of him entering your home. Every theft, time-stamped, backed up. I have it. Good. Fourth, I want you to get a cognitive evaluation. Something that proves beyond any doubt that you're mentally competent. Brad's building a narrative that you're forgetful. We're going to destroy that narrative. Where do I get that? I'll send you a referral. Neuropsychologist. She's used to this kind of case. She'll do a full evaluation. Memory, reasoning, decision-making capacity. Should take about 3 hours. You'll pass with flying colors based on this conversation, but we need it documented. What's this going to cost me? For the consultation and strategy session, $450. If this goes further, we'll discuss it. But Frank says you're good people, so I'm not worried about it. And honestly, Mr. Sullivan, cases like this make me angry. I want to help you. I hired her on the spot. The locksmith came Monday afternoon. Changed all 3 exterior door locks. Cost $340 worth every penny. I didn't tell Emily. She'd find out eventually. But for now, the key she'd had since she was 16 didn't work anymore. I changed my PIN at the bank. Changed my email password, my Amazon password, every password I had. Wrote them all down in a notebook I kept locked in my safe with the new combination. Tuesday, I had the cognitive evaluation. Dr. Sarah Chen's office was downtown. Professional building, nice waiting room. She spent 3 hours testing me. Memory recall, problem solving, pattern recognition, following instructions, verbal reasoning. Some of it was easy, some of it was hard. I'm 72. My processing speed isn't what it was at 30, but I was sharp. I knew I was sharp. Dr. Chen agreed. She gave me the results the following Monday. Mr. Sullivan, you scored in the 94th percentile for your age group. Your memory is excellent. Your reasoning is sound. You show no signs of cognitive decline, no signs of dementia or impairment. In my professional opinion, you have full mental capacity to manage your affairs. She gave me a notarized letter stating exactly that. I made 6 copies, put the original in my safe. That same week, I met with Rebecca Torres again, brought the camera footage on a thumb drive, brought my financial records, brought everything. She watched the footage, all of it. Brad entering my house, opening my safe, taking cash, taking medication. The timestamps matched my calendar. Every theft happened when I was provably elsewhere. "This is slam dunk," Rebecca said. "You have him cold, video evidence, time-stamped, multiple instances. This is theft. This is potentially elder abuse depending on how the DA wants to charge it. What are my options? Option 1, press charges. He gets arrested, prosecuted, likely convicted based on this evidence. He'd be looking at felony theft, possibly elder abuse enhancements. Could be serious prison time." I thought about Jake and Mia. Their dad in prison. Option 2? Civil approach. We send a cease and desist. We notify him we have evidence of theft. We demand restitution. We make it clear that any further contact or entry to your property will result in criminal charges and a restraining order. We don't prosecute, but we make him sign an agreement acknowledging the debt and the theft. Does Emily have to know? Rebecca looked at me. Her expression was kind but firm. "Mr. Sullivan, Emily probably already knows. Or suspects. Wives usually do. The question is whether she's complicit or a victim herself." I hadn't wanted to think about that. That my daughter might know. Might have been okay with it. "What would you do?" I asked. "I'd press charges, but I'm not in your position. You have to decide what you can live with." I thought about it for 3 days. Didn't sleep much, kept replaying the camera footage in my mind. Brad's casual walk to my bedroom, his quick hands opening my safe, the medication bottle in his fist. Thursday morning, my phone rang. Emily. "Dad, my key doesn't work. Did you change your locks?" I did. Silence. "Why?" "Had some security concerns." "What kind of security concerns?" "Personal ones." "Dad, this is weird. Why wouldn't you tell me you were changing the locks?" Didn't think I needed permission to change locks on my own house. More silence. I could hear Brad in the background. Couldn't make out words, but the tone was angry. "Can I get a new key?" "No." "What?" "Dad, I'm your daughter. I've had a key since I was 16. And now you don't. If you need to see me, call first. I'll let you in." "This is insane. What's going on?" "I think you know, Emily." "Know what?" Ask Brad. I hung up. 3 hours later, Brad called. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. Walter, it's Brad. Look, I don't know what's going on, but Emily's really upset. This thing with the locks is crazy. We're family. You can trust us. Call me back. I deleted the voicemail. He called again that night. Again the next morning. I didn't answer. Saturday, they showed up at my door. Both of them. I watched them on the camera app before I answered. Brad looked angry. Emily looked confused. I opened the door. Didn't invite them in. Dad, what is going on? Emily's voice was tight, stressed. You tell me. You changed the locks. You won't give me a key. You won't answer Brad's calls. What happened? I looked at Brad. He met my eyes. Didn't flinch. Brad, you want to tell her? Or should I? Tell me what? Emily looked between us. Brad's jaw tightened. I don't know what you're talking about. I pulled out my phone, opened the camera app, played the footage from last Sunday. Brad walking into my house, going to my bedroom, opening my safe, taking money, taking medication. Emily watched. Her face went pale. That's... She looked at Brad. That's my dad's bedroom. That's his safe. When was this? Last Sunday, I said. While I was at your house for dinner. Brad said he had to take a call, remember? You were at my house. Emily's voice was small. I left at 5 o'clock. Brad entered my house at 6:15. He was there for 8 minutes. Took $500 and my blood pressure medication. That's the third time I have on camera. There are 6 other instances over the past 4 weeks. Emily stared at Brad. Tell me this isn't real. Brad's face was red now. He set this up. He put cameras in his house to spy on us. To spy on you, I said. And it's not spying when it's my house and you're stealing from me. I wasn't stealing. I was borrowing. You stole $6,185 over 6 months. You took my medication. You made me think I was losing my mind. Emily was crying now. Brad, is this true? He owes us that money. Look at everything he's got. That house is worth $300,000. He's sitting on all that money while we're struggling. There it was. The truth he'd been hiding. Not I needed help. Not I'm sorry. But he owes us. I don't owe you anything, I said. My voice was level, calm. I've given you $113,050 over 5 years. Not loans, gifts. Because you're family. And you repaid me by robbing me. $113,000? Emily looked at me. What are you talking about? I'd brought printouts. Had them ready. I handed them to Emily. Down payment, $35,000. Wedding, $18,000. Business startup, $12,000. Then, the list. Every emergency. Every request. Every time they'd asked and I'd said yes. Emily read through it. Her hands were shaking. Some of this I knew about, but, Dad, I didn't know it was this much. $113,050 in 5 years, I said. Plus the $6,085 he stole. That's $109,235 total. Brad grabbed the papers from Emily. This is bullshit. You gave us this money. You can't just... I gave you $113,050. You stole $6,085. Those are different things. We needed that money. Then you should have asked. You would have said no. Exactly. Emily was sobbing now. Full, body-shaking sobs. Brad, how could you? How could I? Your dad's loaded. He's got that house, his pension, his savings. We're drowning. The mortgage is killing us. The kids need stuff. Your salary barely covers it. What was I supposed to do? Get a job, I said. Brad's face went purple. I have a job. No, you don't. You have unemployment checks and video game marathons. Emily works. I've been supplementing your lifestyle for 5 years, and when I drew the line, you started stealing from me. That house is going to be ours anyway when you die. I was just getting it early. Emily gasped. Actually gasped, like she'd been punched. I felt cold, ice spreading through my chest. Get off my property. You can't kick us out. We're family. I pulled out another piece of paper, the cease and desist letter Rebecca Torres had drafted. I handed it to Brad. This is a legal notice. You're banned from my property. You're not to contact me. You're not to enter my home. If you do, I press charges for theft, breaking and entering, and elder abuse. You'll be arrested. Brad read it. His hands were shaking now, too, with rage. You'd have me arrested? I'm married to your daughter. You stole from me. You made me think I was losing my mind. You planned dinner invitations so you could rob me while I ate your pot roast. Yes, I'd have you arrested. Emily was staring at Brad like she didn't know him. Maybe she didn't. Maybe I hadn't either. Em, let's go. Brad grabbed her arm. She pulled away. Don't touch me. Emily. I said don't touch me. She was yelling now. You stole from my father. You stole his medication. He could have died. I was going to put it back. When? When were you going to put back $6,000? Brad didn't have an answer for that. Emily looked at me, tears streaming down her face. Dad, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe my daughter hadn't known her husband was robbing me. The lie about Brad being home, I said. Tuesday, when I called, I asked if Brad was at the house. You said he'd been home all day. He was at my house stealing $300. He told me he'd been home. I didn't. She stopped, closed her eyes. I should have known. I should have checked. God, Dad, I'm so sorry. Brad was backing toward his truck. This is insane. You're all insane. I'm out of here. Take him with you, I said to Emily. And don't come back. Dad, I mean it, Emily. You're welcome here. Jake and Mia are welcome here. He is not. Not ever. Emily looked between us, her father and her husband. I could see the choice playing out on her face. She walked to Brad's truck, got in. They drove away. I stood in my doorway watching them go. My hands were steady. My heart rate was elevated. But I was okay. I'd protected myself, set a boundary, held it. It hurt like hell, but I'd done it. Frank came by that evening. Brought beer. We sat in my garage, same place we'd sat 100 times over 40 years of friendship. Heard you had some excitement today, Frank said. News travels fast. Rebecca called me, said you handled it well. Doesn't feel like I handled anything well. You stood up for yourself. That's handling it. We drank our beer, didn't talk much. Frank knew when silence was better than words. Martha would be proud, he said finally. I wasn't sure about that. Martha had always wanted me to give Emily everything, to support her, to be there. But Martha also hadn't tolerated theft, hadn't tolerated lies. She'd have been furious at Brad. Probably would have pressed charges herself. Maybe, I said. Emily called Sunday night. I almost didn't answer, but she was still my daughter. Dad. I left him, sat down. What? I took the kids to my friend Sarah's house, filed for divorce this morning. Protective order, too. There's been other stuff. Stuff I didn't want to see, but after yesterday, I can't do this anymore. Are you okay? Are the kids okay? We're safe. Sarah's got a big house. We can stay here while I figure things out. You can come here. Dad, after what Brad did, you didn't do it. You and the kids are always welcome here, always. I'll set up the guest room. You remember your old room? Still has your bed from high school. Jake can have that. Mia can have the room next to it. We'll make it work. She was crying again. I'm so sorry. I should have seen it. Should have stopped it. You're seeing it now. That's what matters. He stole from you. My husband stole from you. I brought him into your life, into Mom's house, and he... Stop. You didn't do this. He did. You're the victim here, too. I don't feel like a victim. I feel like an idiot. You're not an idiot. You're someone who loved the wrong person. Happens to good people every day. Silence on her end. Then, can we really come stay with you? Pack your stuff. Come tomorrow. Are you sure? I'm sure. They moved in Monday afternoon. 3 carloads of stuff. Clothes, toys, books. The essentials while Emily figured out the rest. Jake and Mia ran through the house like they owned it, excited to be at Grandpa's. They didn't understand why they weren't at home. Emily had told them Dad had to go away for a while, work trip. They'd figure out the truth eventually, but for now, they were kids. They were okay. Emily helped me make dinner. Spaghetti, garlic bread. Simple. Dad, the money. All that money you gave us. I'm going to pay you back. No, you're not. Dad, that money was a gift, given freely. I'm not taking it back from you. Brad stole from me. You didn't. But I benefited from it. You're my daughter. You're supposed to benefit. That's how this works. She cried into her spaghetti. The kids didn't notice. They were arguing about whose room was bigger. That night, after the kids were asleep, Emily and I sat at the kitchen table. Same table where I'd sat alone so many nights since Martha died. How did you know? Emily asked. How did you know it was Brad? Process of elimination. Only 2 people had keys. You work Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. He doesn't. I should have questioned it. The money going missing. Your medication. He kept saying you were getting forgetful. He was building a narrative, making everyone think I was losing it. Classic financial abuse pattern. How do you know about that? Rebecca Torres explained it. Apparently it's common. Elder abuse. They make you doubt yourself. Make everyone else doubt you. Then they take what they want. Emily was quiet for a moment. There's more. More what? Money. Brad's been taking from our account too. I checked yesterday. $8,000 missing over the past year. I don't know where it went. Gambling? Maybe. Or drugs. Or another woman. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. You know you and the kids are safe here. That's all you need to know right now. She nodded, wiped her eyes. Thanks, Dad. That's what fathers are for. The divorce took 6 months. Brad contested it, tried to claim Emily was unstable, tried to get custody of the kids, tried to claim he deserved half the house I'd helped them buy. Rebecca Torres tore him apart in court, showed the camera footage of him stealing from me, showed the financial records of the $113,050 I'd given them, showed that Brad had contributed virtually nothing to the household income. The judge awarded Emily full custody, split the house proceeds 70-30 in Emily's favor due to Brad's theft, ordered Brad to pay restitution to me, $6,185 plus legal fees. I haven't seen a penny. Don't expect to, but it's on the record. He owes me. That's enough. Brad moved to another state. Indiana, I think. Emily doesn't keep track. The kids see him twice a year. Court-mandated visitation. They come back quiet and confused each time. He's trying to poison them against Emily, against me. But kids are smart. They see who shows up, who's there. Emily and the kids lived with me for a year. She saved money, got back on her feet, found a better job at a dental practice closer to my house. Better pay, better hours. Last month, she moved into an apartment 15 minutes away. 2 bedrooms, small but clean. The kids have their own room. She's got hers. She's rebuilding. She comes by twice a week for dinner. The kids come every Sunday. We play cards, watch movies. Normal grandparent stuff. Jake asked me last month why Dad took my medicine. Emily had finally told them the truth. Age-appropriate version. Dad made some bad choices. I told Jake the truth. Your dad was hurting. When people hurt, sometimes they hurt other people. That doesn't make it okay, but it's the reason. Are you mad at him? I was. Now I'm just sad for him. Me too, Jake said. Mia's too young to really understand. She just knows Grandpa's house is safe, warm, has cookies. That's enough for a 6-year-old. Frank still comes by. We sit in the garage, drink beer, talk about the old days. He told me last week he was proud of me. For what? Standing up for yourself. Not many guys your age would have done that. Would have just taken it. Figured it was family, nothing you could do. Martha wouldn't have tolerated it. Martha raised you right. I've thought about that a lot. Whether Martha would be proud. Whether I did the right thing. I think I did. I protected myself. Protected Emily. even if she didn't see it at the time. Showed the kids that theft is wrong, even when family does it. The house is quieter now. Just me again. The guest room is empty most nights, but it's a different kind of quiet than before. Not lonely, just peaceful. I changed the safe. Combination again last month. Didn't need to. Brad's long gone, but it made me feel better. There's $8,000 in there now, saved up from my pension, emergency fund. The irony isn't lost on me. I'm rebuilding the same fund Brad depleted, but this time it's mine. Only mine, and it'll stay that way. My blood pressure's better. Dr. Morrison was pleased at my last appointment. Whatever you changed, keep doing it, he said. I didn't tell him what I changed was refusing to be stolen from. Some things doctors don't need to know. Last week I was in my workshop, building a dollhouse for Mia. Detailed work. Windows, doors, shingles on the roof. Emily came by, watched me work for a bit. Dad, I never asked. Why didn't you press charges? You could have had Brad arrested, prosecuted. You had all that evidence. I set down my sandpaper, thought about it. Because I didn't want Jake and Mia growing up knowing their grandpa put their father in prison. Right or wrong, that's a weight kids shouldn't carry. That's really why? That. And I figured you were going to leave him eventually. You're smart. You'd see the truth. I just had to protect myself until you did. She hugged me, tight. I love you, Dad. Love you too, kiddo. That's the thing about family. It's complicated, messy. Sometimes people you love hurt you. Sometimes you have to protect yourself from them. But sometimes they come back. They see the truth. They make it right. Emily's making it right. The kids are okay. I'm okay. And Brad? Brad's living in Indiana with whatever consequences his choices brought him. That's not my problem anymore. My problem is finishing this dollhouse, getting the roof angle right, making sure the front door swings smooth. Grandpa problems. The kind I signed up for. The kind I want. If you like this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.